Hello, everybody. Welcome to Life Under Trump, Part 92. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. I am glad to see you all on this beautiful Thursday. It is warm here in Atlanta on a Thursday. I need to wash my hair, so that's why I keep fooling with it. Need to be washed, but I don't feel like it. Anyway, again, I am Queen Lillie, and this is Life Under Trump, Part 92. Welcome. We have a lot to cover right now. Trump is still having his temper tantrums. He is up in the nighttime having hissy fits. Uh, Elon Musk, his stock is like really down right now. He's crying like a baby too. Congress, the Republicans are out to take your grandmother's Medicaid, and the Dems are not signing on to the bill. So we may have a government shutdown. And you ask me, let it shut down before you just agree to something that would not benefit the American people. I would rather have a government shutdown than to hurt the American people and for the Dems to sign off on the Republicans' BS. So that's why I stand with it. So they're not willing to give a little bit to the Dems. So the Dems feel like, okay, well, we're not signing the bill. Please don't. It would not benefit the American people. Hello, LaSwan. How you doing, King? Thank you for coming to my live. It's a lot going on. And I think things are getting to the point where there's going to be a way for them to impeach Trump because there's a crypto situation he has gotten himself involved in. And a lot of things Donald Trump is doing is like pimping out the White House. And I know he has immunity, but he doesn't have immunity to not be impeached. And when he leave that White House, whatever crimes he has done, he can go to the jail cell, prison for it. And I would be happy that he will go. Let me know if y'all can hear me. And if my screen is clear, let me know. Let me see something. I'm going to pull it closer. Okay, that's better. I rushed and did my eyebrows and lipstick today. I ain't even feeling my eyebrows like I normally do, but deal with it. It's what it is. I'm still sick, but I'm here for y'all because I love y'all. I am here. Okay, let's get started. We got a lot to cover in such a short amount of time. I mean, a lot to cover. One moment. I feel a little better, even though I went out the door earlier to go to my car. It wasn't that bad. Usually, like if I go out in the pollen, oh my God, yesterday was rough. Hi from Poland. Hi there. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Demon Network says, and what do you mean by look at my bone structure? I was born a woman. I birthed a baby. My daughter's 32 years old, and my flower down there because I'm a lily. That motherfucker's still pretty. So sit your ass in my chat and shut the fuck up. And you ignorant for that comment. I'm gonna tell you what I learned about white people. When it comes to beautiful black people are naturally beautiful, y'all like to try to find something wrong with black people, period. But I'm 51. I don't have wrinkles or anything. I don't have to get Botox or fillers, and your people do. So sit in my chat and enjoy the motherfucking ride, bitch. Okay, let's get it started. Since you want to say something about black people, I got something for your whack ass.
For your Black Pride and Black History Month, because white pride has always come with so much violence towards other people. White pride movements have never been about celebration. They've always been about domination. So when white people see Black History Month or Black Pride movements, they assume it must be the same. Black pride has never been about supremacy or violence. It's always been about restoration, been about joy, culture, and a deep love, not just for black people, but for all of our humanity. White fear of black pride isn't about black people at all. It's the inability to manage racial pride without power and violence. Because whiteness has never been defined outside of power, violence, and oppression towards others. So the real question isn't why is black pride so threatening? It's why do white people always equate white pride with harm and violence? I hope this helps.
Well, it helped a lot. So all you with your questions in my chat that want to come for my black beauty, My bone structure come from my ancestors. Where do your skin come from? A prune. So we got a lot to talk about that has to do with Trump. Trump is behind a lot of illegal stuff that's going on. And because he has immunity, he feel like he's untouchable. But you can be impeached, Trump.
Nakedly corrupt, openly corrupt, without fear of retribution, without fear of consequence, because of the blanket immunity ruling that the Supreme Court gave Donald Trump. That if he wanted to dispatch a military unit to assassinate a political rival, he can do so because he is our king. He is our dear leader. He is the demigod, the cult leader, Donald Trump, and he can do no wrong and will not be held accountable for anything he does. This reporting I'm getting ready to read to you is from the Wall Street Journal. The Rupert Murdoch owned Wall Street Journal. The Fox News, Fox Business, New York Post affiliated Wall Street Journal. This isn't the New Republic. This isn't Mother Jones. This isn't the Intercept. This isn't the Guardian. This is the Wall Street Journal indicating that Donald Trump's family is in talks with a crypto guy worth billions and billions, and his business is worth that same. And they're in talks to take a share of his business, while at the same time, this guy is trying to get a pardon from the president of the United States, who just happens to be the daddy of the individuals looking to enrich the family. Nakedly corrupt. Insane that this is where we are in America. Here it is from the Wall Street Journal one more time. Trump family has held deal talks with Binance following crypto exchange's guilty plea. Discussions for stake in Binance's U.S. arm come as founder Changpeng Zhao has pushed for the administration to pardon him for his own 2023 guilty plea. This is a quid pro quo. It's, yeah, I'll give you a piece of my business. That pardon would be real nice. What if Donald Trump was to threaten another business, Apple or some other, maybe not a giant company like that, but some other smaller company that's worth a paltry $10 billion, to prosecute them even? And then, well, we'll pardon you, but you got to give me a little cut. You got to give me a little taste. This is mafia shit here. That's publicly happening. While Democrats are wringing their hands and starting podcasts like Gavin Newsom, who I'm going to talk about later, sitting down with Steve Bannon, who is an architect of this kind of shit. Someone who tried to end our democracy. Democrats are trying to find common ground with these folks while this shit's taking place. The media missed the moment. Democrats lost. Now Democrats are missing the moment. Elected Democrats, not you and me. Elected Democrats, largely, not all of them, a few. Here's the article. Representatives of Donald Trump's family have held talks to take a financial stake in the U.S. arm of crypto exchange Binance, according to people familiar with the matter, a move that would put Trump in business with the firm that pleaded guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering requirements. At the same time, Binance's billionaire founder, Changpeng Zhao, who served 4 months in prison after pleading guilty to a related charge, has been pushing for the Trump administration to grant him a pardon, people familiar with the matter said. Zhao, widely known as CZ, remains Binance's largest shareholder. The talks began after Binance reached out to allies of Trump last year, offering to strike a business deal with the family as part of a plan to return the exiled company to the United States. It is unclear what form the Trump family stake would take if the deal comes together, or whether it would be contingent on a pardon. Again, this is where we kind of slide into the, well, it's really unclear. We don't know what's happening because this is Rupert Murdoch. We can read through all that subterfuge. We can read through the distractions to understand what's at play here and what is taking place. I'll read that paragraph one more time. It is unclear what form the Trump family stake would take if the deal comes together, or whether it would be contingent on a pardon. The possibilities include the Trumps taking the stake, or the deal going through the World Liberty Financial, a cryptocurrency venture backed by the Trumps that launched in September, the people said.
Steve Witkoff, a longtime friend of Trump's, who is now his top negotiator in the Middle East and for the war in Ukraine, has been involved in the talks for a deal, some of the people familiar with the matter said. Trump has increasingly blurred the boundaries between the presidency and his business ventures. His family has been profiting from his election victory, with First Lady Melania Trump signing a $40 million documentary deal, and Trump seeking tens of millions in financial settlements from companies he has sued earlier, much of which has gone to fund his presidential library. But pursuing a business deal involving a felon seeking a pardon from his administration would be an unprecedented overlap of his business and the government. One more time, for those of you who may have been drifting off or spacing out and not paying attention, but pursuing a business deal, but Donald Trump pursuing a business deal. Now, let's drill down a little bit more granular. But President of the United States, Donald Trump, pursuing a business deal involving a felon seeking a pardon from his administration would be an unprecedented overlap of his business and his job as the President of the United States, running the United States government. A stake in Binance.us would also be a striking expansion of the family's cryptocurrency endeavors as Trump signs a series of executive orders that benefit the industry. And then finally, as this will come as no shock to anyone, World Liberty Financial declined to comment. The Trump organization didn't respond to a request for comment. Binance US declined to comment, and Binance didn't respond to request for comment. Open, naked, flagrant corruption. Donald Trump, all of these MAGA pukes who are either too stupid or too closed off to hear facts will claim that Donald Trump is this altruistic figure. He gives away his salary. He loses money being the president, y'all. He loves this country. Does he? Is he losing money being president of the United States? Or is he filling his fat fucking pockets with as much cash as he can stuff away? I guess I'll leave it with that question to you.
Woo! Subscribe to Jess Dolmore on YouTube. Subscribe to Jess Dolmore on YouTube. That was powerful. Crime Mob. Joanne the scammer in the White House. Nothing surprising me about this cabinet and his presidency. He's been this way all his life. And because of his shenanigans, Mexico is no longer going to let you just walk over the border into their country anymore.
Immigration authorities are now strictly enforcing it, leaving people waiting hours to get into Mexico and having to pay. Like countless Arizonans, Jim McCauley and his wife, who live in Scottsdale, were heading into Mexico for a day trip.
We were going to visit the pharmacy, have a lunch, and then be on our way. It's something we've done many, many times before.
They usually go in on foot and say the process is easy.
Normally walking into Mexico is just like walking into a Walmart.
But on Thursday, when they got to the point of entry in Yuma, that wasn't the case.
The line was very, very long. Most of the people in line didn't know what was going on. The only progress that we made in that line were people that were leaving.
When they asked others how long they had been in line,
they were telling us it was a 3 to 4 hour wait.
Both finally decided to cancel their trip because of it.
It was frustrating because we didn't expect it, hadn't heard about it. It's for us, it's a 3.5 hour trip down there and back.
The reason for the long wait, U.S. citizens traveling into Mexico not only have to bring their passport, but now must obtain a travel visa, according to the Mexican consulate of Phoenix, a form most Americans don't know about because Mexico hasn't strictly enforced it until now.
That's what was taking so much time, as far as we could tell.
The consulate says it's to make tourists comply with the requirements and for safety. You can fill it out at the port of entry or online. To find it, go to the Mexican consulate of Phoenix website, click on this link called Visa para Personas. From there, click the first link near the top. Hit this plus sign, agree to the conditions, then fill out the form, including where you're going in Mexico, what port of entry you're entering, and other personal information. You can then print out the form and bring it with you. However, the consulate says it will cost you about $30. For Macaulay, he says until the process gets smoothed out, he isn't planning on going to Mexico anytime soon.
It's not worth the time.
And immigration authorities are now strictly enforcing it, leaving people waiting hours to get into Mexico.
Well, y'all can thank the moron in the White House for that. He caused all of this because Mexico only wanted peace, but he want to throw tariffs on them to try to hurt them, but he's hurting the American people. They have made it tougher for you to go to Mexico. You can't just cross the borders anymore. That was quicker than taking a flight and less trouble. Now it's a lot of trouble to try to cross the borders. We're going to get on over to Elon Musk, the musty one. So Tesla sales dropped 75.4% in Spain and 48% in Norway as people boycott Elon Musk. And I'm glad they are. One moment. Just a moment, please. Just a moment.
I'm going to say this at risk of my job, Kelly, but what President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane. It is about the 8th reason we've had for the tariffs. And now he's saying he's putting 50% tariffs on Canada unless they agree to become the 51st state. That is insane. There is just no other way of describing it. And the trouble, Kelly, is that it shows there are no bounds around President Trump. This is very different from the first administration, where there were people around him who seemed to, I don't know what the word is, but smooth over some of the edges now. And the other thing that's not talked about, Kelly, is what's going on within the administration in terms of how they're treating the Constitution and laws. I think all of that is bad for the attraction of capital. And the gentleman from Bridgewater is 100% right. We need massive amounts of capital if we want to fund our deficits, pay for the things we want to pay for, sell our bonds, and have high stock prices. And it seems as if this administration is doing everything it can to chase foreign capital away.
Well, and we could go into the strategy of the insanity as a strategy in terms of our trading.
Insanity is not a strategy. I'm sorry. I'm with you, Kelly, and trying to look for silver linings.
Kelly making excuses for Donald Trump's mishaps, his BS. And I noticed that the white Republicans do that quite often. They make excuses for Donald Trump. And that's why they're having a problem where the government may be shut down because of the Republicans. They are down with Donald Trump's BS because it fattens their pockets. They don't care about you and they don't care about me.
This morning, Donald Trump is now threatening 200% tariffs on all wine, champagne, and liquor from the European Union. Trump wrote on his social media site, the European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariffing authorities in the world, which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States, has just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU-represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne businesses in the US. Isn't it funny how when Trump puts tariffs on countries, it's a beautiful thing, but when other countries retaliate, it's, quote, hostile and abusive and nasty? Also, technically, there are no champagne businesses in the United States. So this means, obviously, if the tariff is imposed, your drinks are going to get a lot more expensive. We're going to be following this story and so much more. So make sure you're following our account.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. He deflects. When he called people hostile, abusive, and nasty, that's who Donald Trump is. That's who MAGA is. That's who the Republican Party, they are everything that he says about everybody else. So if you voted for Trump, you are everything that he is.
Y'all, I'm gonna keep it completely honest. There ain't a single black person on this plane.
Because we're smart.
There ain't a single black person on this plane. And you know why?
We ain't stupid enough to get on flights.
When black people see planes stand at the right, black people ain't gonna fly. Trust me, I didn't want to either. Just did it because I had to. Y'all pray for me for real. Now, y'all, I'm gonna keep it complete.
The chosen ones, they know better than get on any flight right now. I supposed to go to Miami today. I ain't taking no flight up out of here. I was like, I'll go another time. It would have been nice to lay out on Miami Beach, go to Cocoa Beach and all, and lay out on a perfect white furniture. I mean, it's just beautiful at Cocoa Beach. But I am not going on anybody's plane right now. I need a break. No, I'm not doing it. Black people got sense. We ain't down with the okie doke. We trying to live.
Administration has now decided to move all detained immigrants currently being held in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to Louisiana. Why? It was a political stunt. Congress has been freaking out for weeks over the mere cost of deporting them because they've chosen to use military planes, which are insanely expensive for the government. Trump is also being sued by multiple civil rights groups over not providing the detained immigrants legal counsel while in Cuba. My guess is he knew this wouldn't work out financially or legally, and he did this as a stunt to appease his voters. What a waste of money. The Trump administration has now decided to move all detained immigrants currently being held in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to Louisiana. Why? It was a political stunt. Congress has been freaking out for
Elon, Doge, y'all supposed to be handling waste and fraud? That's the waste and the fraud right there. Waste money sending migrants to Guantanamo Bay. Now you're taking them to Louisiana. What it is, people that invested into his campaign losing money on those farms, and they getting at his ASS. So next they'll be back working out there in the fields. Donald Trump, you are the fakest that ever sat in that White House Oval Office desk. You are an embarrassment. You are a car salesman for Tesla. How low can you go? Well, he can go lower because he's already at the bottom of the trash can, up under the gum that's under the trash can. He's the bottom of the barrel type gangster. Fake gangster at that. He cosplay being a president. He cosplay being a thug. Because a real thug, they ain't scared to go to the military. Donnie Boy supposed to have spores on his feet. And what are spores? Just like mold. Mold has spores, remember that. He's old and corroded.
Pissed off at Elon Musk, and I don't know who's following me, who isn't, and you want to take out revenge on him? Well, I have a great opportunity because Elon Musk is putting millions of dollars of his own money into a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin for state Supreme Court, and we need to do everything we can to make sure that he does not win, that we show that he cannot buy elections. So we are raising up Judge Susan Crawford, who is right here. Bing! And she's also linked below in the comments. You can follow her, throw her a couple of dollars. It all helps a lot. But we need to show that Elon Musk and billionaires, though they can own a lot and they can have a lot of power, it is not absolute. And we, the people, are the ones who decide who represents us, not a billionaire. So follow Susan Crawford, give her a couple of dollars, and let's win this thing in Wisconsin. If you are pissed off at Elon Musk and
Wisconsin, Florida, get out there and vote for Democrats. We got to change this thing, okay? We can't continue the way that it's going. It's impossible to survive life under Trump, part 92. Impeach Trump, 2025. That great billboard says, "This is the immigrant who took your job." So all you beautiful Caucasian people that lost your job under DEI, and you voted him in there because you thought DEI was going to get rid of black people, well, baby, you lost your job.
A normal day watching a Starship launch. Oh, look, there's Don Jr. What's he doing with his hand in his pocket? Wait, let's watch that again. Oh, man, that got caught on camera. That blows. Just a normal day watching a Starship launch. Oh, look, there's Don Jr. What's he doing with his hand in his pocket? Wait, let's watch that again. Oh, man.
And Donnie boy blaming Mexico, Canada, China for fentanyl. What your son doing, Donnie? Something I have never done and would never do. That's why I'm 51 and I still look like I'm in my 20s, because I don't do anything that's going to affect this beauty that God gave me. What you doing, Donnie boy? What Junior doing? What is Junior doing, Donnie? Oh, Donnie boy. Why are you blaming Mexico, Canada, and China for your son's habit?
Oh, man, that got caught on camera. That blows. Just a normal day watching a Starship.
Just a normal day in the Trump family. And you worried about Mexico and Canada and China supposed to be supplying something. But how your son up there standing up there digging for gold, digging and digging and digging. How, Sway? We saw it with our eyes. Must I show it again? I saw it before she even did a video about it. Everybody did. It's no lie. Straight facts. Our eyes saw it. But you want to come for everybody else. And then you're hanging around Elon, who act like he on cloud 9 at your inauguration, looking all around and around like the nut has went damn crazy. What was he on?
Black folks have not known to chill, and they doing everything possible trying to get us riled up. Like that Black Lives Matter mural in Washington, D.C. Oh, they removing it. Black
We
people,
don't give a
look what they're
fuck.
doing. Aren't you mad?
We don't give a fuck.
I know when that happened, black people did not ask for Black Lives Matter to be put across the street. Black people talking about justice. That's nothing but symbolism. And black folks don't support no Black Lives Matter anyway, because it was a Democrat organization that was used to finesse money to the LGBT, and everybody got paid with Black Lives Matter. None of the money went to the Black Lives Matter chapters who really believe Black Lives Matter. They wasn't getting it. Let them take Black Lives Matter off the street. So, take it. That's not going to hurt us.
We don't care.
I've been living. There was no Black Lives Matter on the street. And guess what? I've been fine. And you take Black Lives Matter off the street, trust me, black folks in D.C. going to be just fine. If they can hurt your feelings by taking something they put down, they chose to, that we even asked for, that hurt your feelings or get you riled up, something wrong with you. They're trying to do so many different things to get us back out there. They got to suck out our life force. And they know us fighting constantly and never getting a break is sucking out our life force. And for the first time in a long time, we actually said, no, y'all got it. Y'all deal with it. And they freaking out. and Trump is tearing them up. And hey, I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of it. That's y'all problem. You don't want an ally because we have so many problems that we neglected in our community because we've been fighting and trying to preserve everybody else's. Now we can actually focus on our children. We focus on our health, which we don't focus on. We're in the era of self-care, self-preservation, and enjoying our life. To hell with all these other groups, let them sort it out. We just worry about ourselves right now. We've done enough for America. We've done enough. And you tell them other groups that. We've done enough. Oh, what about this happening? That ain't my problem. I'm worried about myself, my community. I'm not getting stressed out for none of y'all. Black folks have not known to chill. And they doing everything possible trying to get us right.
Honey, we chilling. This is y'all F around and find out era, which we started the saying F around and find out. And then y'all steal that too, but it's still ours. Black people created that fuck around and find out. And what do the white people do? You try to steal that too? What is yours? Tell me one thing you have not stolen. What is yours? Not your culture, because you stole it from Black people and Hispanics, Latinos. Blubber butt can't say Tesla. Donald Trump is an embarrassment.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Because he has those fake teeth in.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
It's Tesla.
Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Beavers and Butthead. When I tell y'all this country is an embarrassment, the entire world is laughing at America. We have a non-educated fool in the Oval Office. All the stuff that he's doing. Y'all were saying that President Barack Obama was going to do it. A Harvard graduate? Really? A Harvard graduate does not speak like this. He's an intellect. That's what President Barack Obama is. His wife, very intelligent. Melania Trump, shut the door. Shut the door. I ain't even going to discuss her. She can't even compete with President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. What education does Melania have? Somebody please inform me in my chat. Is her education better than Michelle Obama? Hell no. Definitely can't sit with Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, Dr. Barack Obama, Dr. Jill Biden. In my chat, Mega, tell me what is Melania Trump's education besides jumping on Donnie's little eggplant? What is Melania Trump education? Is it better than Dr. Jill Biden? Is it better than Michelle Obama? Hell to the no.
President Trump a Russian asset?
Absolutely not, Senator. He's the president of the United States, duly elected by the American people.
Well, the reason I ask is many people back home have been asking me this question. And they say, if he was an asset, we would see exactly what he's doing now. For example, he proceeded
and we see it
to express from the Oval Office propaganda that has been Russian propaganda, that Ukraine started the war, that Zelensky is a dictator. Second of all, he gave away key things on the negotiating table before the negotiations even started, ensuring U.S. would absolutely oppose any possibility of NATO membership for Ukraine. Third, he's cut off the arms shipments to Ukraine, completely undermining their ability against a massive neighbor next door. Fourth, he's undermined the partnership with Europe, which has been essential to security over the last 80 years, a major goal of Putin's. And then he's done everything to discredit Zelensky on the international stage with the just shameful press conference in which he teamed up with the vice president to attack Zelensky. I can't imagine that if he was a Russian asset, he could do anything more favorable than these points. What else could a Russian asset actually possibly do that Trump hasn't yet done? Is President Trump a Russian asset?
Absolutely not, Senator.
Absolutely is. He's a Russian asset. Absolutely is. Stop the lying. Stop the press.
Elon Musk losing $16 billion in a matter of hours should make you happy. And what I think is really comical is they are literally on social media calling for people to buy his products, even as he actively says empathy is a weakness. Trump is on his Truth Social talking about how we're illegally boycotting. Like, the fact that he uses these words together never surprises me, but also astounds me at the same time. And I'm not surprised because the intellect is in hell. But at the same time, boycott, illegal, that doesn't go together. By virtue of you boycotting something means it's optional to you, means it's a choice. And I just love how people are really using their power to boycott. And there's no way a boycott is illegal because it's a choice. It's an option. We don't have to do it. That's why it's a boycott, because I don't have to go there. I don't spend money. I don't have to shop with you.
She don't have to go there. And right now, Black people are resting. We're not getting out there protesting for anyone, because all the white men want to do is make a Black person their target. We have caught on to y'all mess, and we're not getting out there.
I'm not sure if you guys have heard, but the United States just got added to a global watch list for a decline in civic freedoms. Things like free speech, the right to protest, and democracy itself. This isn't some fake liberal media thing, and it's not just the rest of the world hating on America. No, this is real, and it's happening for a reason. The organization Civicus, which tracks civic freedoms worldwide, just put the U.S. on the same list as Pakistan, Serbia, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. That's not exactly the company we're used to keeping. And why? Well, it turns out when your government attacks the press, cracks down on protests, tries to rewrite election rules, and punishes whistleblowers, well, the rest of the world starts to notice. Like, imagine that you're at a party and your friends are like, dude, you really should slow down. And you're like, you guys just don't get me. No, they do get you. They're telling you something's wrong before you crash and burn. That's what's happening here. The U.S. isn't just being criticized. Our status as a free country is actually changing. And here's the part that should really worry you. This didn't come out of nowhere. This isn't random. We've been watching extremist movements grow, democracy weaken, and the government test the waters on suppressing dissent. This isn't a vibe shift, it's a power shift. And if we don't pay attention, it won't just be a watch list. It'll be a warning sign that we all ignored. We are better than this. We have to be. But recognizing the problem is step one. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Stay loud, stay informed, and don't let them gaslight you into thinking everything's fine, because it's clearly not. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard
MAGA, everything is not fine. Trump is gaslighting you every day, but he has your mind. He has you little eggplant whipped.
Coin is the equivalent of issuing the account number for a Swiss bank account, telling foreign adversaries they can deposit funds into that account anonymously, but then come and show him the receipts privately to prove that they have so done. It is the most brazen act of corruption of the modern presidency. And if you don't think that the Chinese and the Saudis and the Turks and the Qataris are buying some of that coin, I think people are deeply naive. That Trump coin is the equivalent of issuing the account number for a Swiss bank account, telling foreign adversaries they can deposit funds into that account anonymously, but then come and show him the receipts privately to prove that they have so done. It is the most brazen act of corruption of the modern presidency. And if you don't think that the Chinese and the Saudis and the Turks and the Qataris are buying some of that coin, I think people are deeply naive.
Crime mob, Tony Montana, crime mob. The White House is nothing but a trap house. A new plantation. that has no black slaves. But their goal is to turn us back into slaves, black people. So stay woke. Don't trust them. I done told you, I've been telling y'all for the past couple of days, do not trust them. I love you.
Elon Musk has said that Democrats use social programs to incentivize immigrants or people to come across the border or come into the country so that they can get more voters. What do you think of that?
I think it's incorrect. I think it's sad. I think, part of the American dream is that we as taxpayers and citizens can contribute to helping the people who are most in need. To say that these programs are just used to buy votes, it's pretty sad and it's un-American.
And Social Security, what he said about Social Security?
I think Social Security is super important to help the most vulnerable people in society. It's also something that I, as a taxpayer, have been putting money into. And so to see that it's going to be eliminated, I feel like he's not only doing a disservice to many Americans, but also in some ways taking their money away from them, money that they've contributed into that pot.
So Elon Musk has said that Democrats use social programs to
Again, that's part of do not trust them. We have paid into Social Security, but we won't see any of that. But the billionaires will. All those tax cuts they're doing, it enhanced the billionaires' pockets. And Donnie will get his cut. Crime mob.
Literally the richest man in the world is taking food and medicine away from the poorest people in the world. And he is doing it in our name. Right. In the name of the citizens of the United States of America. And as a citizen of the United States of America, I have both the constitutional legal right to say, I don't like that. Please don't do that. And I want to advocate for my representatives in the government to make sure that does not happen. I don't think that is unchristian. If I see my government doing something which is harming my neighbor, right? And I have, again, that legal channel to influence my government, then a responsibility toward loving my neighbor is to advocate within the government for things that are not going to harm my neighbor. That's what I mean by responsibility. And I don't want to abdicate that responsibility by just going, well, I'm a Christian and I'm not going to, engage in anything quote unquote political because it's
we're always political.
Literally the richest man in the world.
The richest man in the world is the biggest welfare queen in America. Elon Musk has gotten millions and billions, not millions, billions of dollars from the American taxpayers. MAGA, wake up. Come out of Donnie's pissity pens. You're under a spell. Wake up. With this young man coming at Elon Musk, I said, let him cook. Let him cook. Yes.
The same room as Elon Musk. I gotta say something to him. I kind of was just made the decision within a second, I'm gonna get up and just start walking over there. Elon, hey, it's Jason Selvig. We know each other.
Right.
Put my hand out, was like, what's up? How you doing?
Yeah, sure.
And then shook his hand. And then I kept holding his hand. I was like, you're the richest man on earth. You should do something good.
Yeah.
With your money. You could end world hunger. You have too much. You have too much. He was thinking about it oh, you think money would solve that issue. Almost you little man.
Yeah.
Your brain is so small.
You thought
it was
you think I would part with my money?
Part with my jet money and Mars money. The look of condescension was oh, you idiot. You lower class idiot.
He knew
no
in that moment.
Clue how the world works. Where it's actually, I think I do. You spent $300 million to elect the person that you are now working in the White House for.
Right.
You bought your way into power right now and are benefiting from it. It felt I wish I did something better, but I think it would have been worse to do nothing. I'm in the same room as Elon Musk. I gotta say something to him.
MAGA, he's telling you what Elon Musk think of you. But we can't expect much from the uneducated. Donnie loves the uneducated, low vibrational people, like the ones in my chat that come for me daily.
Oh, well. I feel like I just made this video, but things only keep getting worse. If you haven't heard by now, the United States economy is currently imploding like a SpaceX rocket, or like Donald J. Trump's Depends after a long day of eating nothing but McDoubles and Putin's butt cheeks. We've seen significant drops in stocks like Tesla, Meta, Amazon, and Alphabet. Seems like the only stock that's rising is Schadenfreude. Why is this happening, you might ask? One man, President Marigold Mussolini, good old Fanta Francisco Franco. And not just his idiotic trade war, which shows he has the economic understanding of Dory from Finding Goddamn Nemo, but also the fact that the man can't keep that festering bog of eternal stench he calls a mouth closed for 15 goddamn minutes. If you are a Trump supporter who has lost their job or will lose their job over the coming months because some imaginary numbers in New York City went down, he wants you to know he's okay with that. He doesn't give one single iota of a flying fuck. And furthermore, shut up about the price of eggs. What I want you to know is we told you so. You witless, bean-brained, rat-fink ass clowns. We fucking told you so. Well.
Well. It's gonna get worse for you, MAGA. And I'm getting my reparations because I'm laughing at you. And I suggest all the beautiful Black people and brown people laugh at you. Get your reparations, Black people. Because everything that's happening, they thought it was just gonna hurt the Black and brown people, but it's hurting them more. This is my fucking reparations, laughing at your motherfucking asses.
Then the SpaceX launch scheduled to bring relief to NASA's two stranded astronauts has been canceled under an hour before liftoff. Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, who have been stuck aboard the International Space Station for 9 months, will have to wait a little longer to come home. With hours to go, engineers detected a problem with the hydraulic system controlling a critical launch pad arm. That arm, which is designed to tilt back just before liftoff, forced SpaceX to scrub the mission with the 4 astronauts already strapped in and ready to go. SpaceX says that the next launch attempt could come as early as Thursday night, but no official date has been set. NASA has hoped the new crew would arrive at the station by Thursday morning, paving the way for the test pilot's long overdue return. We're going to be following this story and so much more.
Who in the Jimmy Crack coin, and I don't care, will get on anything that got to do with SpaceX? Did they not see what just happened the other night? SpaceX exploded in the air and caused debris all over the land here in the USA. Who in the world would do anything with SpaceX? NASA, are you kidding me? Why would you let SpaceX come in and take over? And it wasn't that NASA wanted to do it. The greedy Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, the brain dead people.
You running your other businesses? With great difficulty.
Yeah, with great difficulty is exactly right, because you've lost Tesla nearly half its value in the last 2 months, dude. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you were one of those go woke, go broke motherfuckers, weren't you? Saying that shareholders were going to sue companies that lose value based on their political ideology. Well, it seems the tables have turned on you, good sir. And let me just speak directly to your board at Tesla, just for 1 second, okay? You guys 100% should kick this guy out of Tesla. First and foremost, you have massive financial justification to do so. And having one of the left's most hated people as your CEO is probably a bad idea, given that the majority of people who want to buy electric cars are liberal people. Something to consider if you actually give a shit about your company's value. Anyway, back to you, Elon. I know that you probably feel like the walls are closing in around you, your companies are hemorrhaging money, your Doge work isn't doing very well, your public approval rating is low. Must feel kind of shitty. The truth is, it's really fun to watch, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show.
How are you running your other business?
Hey, I'm going to grab me some popcorn, y'all. Y'all want some popcorn? because we're going to sit back and enjoy this ride too. We're going to continue watching Elon Musk stock go down, 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 all the way down until his head is in Donnie's pamper, sucking on an eggplant. The eggplant is very little. I keep telling y'all. How did Melania Trump stay with that man? The money. It's always the money. Follow the money.
Elon Musk's last ketamine-fueled fugue state. He called you a traitor for visiting Ukraine. What's your response to Elon?
That was kind of a surprise to me. When I was flying combat over Iraq during the first Gulf War, getting shot at, I didn't expect that there was a 10-year-old kid, sitting in South Africa. One day was going to become the richest guy in the world and was going to call me a traitor for doing my job. I don't take him very seriously. Now he kind of acts like a 12-year-old kid, hurling around insults. He supposedly has this big job in the Trump administration. He's just doing an incredible amount of damage to our institutions, to our workforce, but to the missions that this government needs to keep people safe, to keep our economy moving forward. He's doing significant damage.
During Elon Musk's last ketamine-fueled fugue state, he called you a traitor.
The ketamine, his son digging for gold in his pockets, putting it on his gums and digging some more, putting it on his gums. All of that. America, we're in trouble.
Cars in the south lawn of the White House. They're selling fucking Teslas on the south lawn of the White House. They are selling cars on the south lawn of the White House. 1,300 people from the Department of Education just got laid off. The people in the Office of the USAID are being told to burn and shred documents like a slush company going out of business in a movie. The United States just got added to a civil rights watch list because citizens are losing rights left and right, and they are selling fucking cars. Girl, this is what y'all voted for?
Trap house.
This is what y'all voted for. We're about to have an infomercial soon. America's a fucking infomercial. This is a fire sale. They're selling cars. Man
Donald
said,
Trump sold our country
love a
to
Tesla.
Russia.
Love a Tesla. Really? Really? This? White people, fix it. Because this is
Your mess,
This is
white
too far.
people.
this is fucking
Y'all
fix
voted
it.
him in there, white people.
They're selling cars in the south lawn of the White House.
I've been telling y'all, that's why we're not getting out there marching. Y'all did this. We would not have this situation if white people use their brains to not be racist and think about other people besides themselves. We would not be in this mess. The racist white people, MAGA, and dumb black people. I don't care if I know you. You're dumb for voting for Donald Trump. And I thought you were smart. Apparently, you're not bright at all. You voted for Donald Trump, and look at this mess. Anybody that you vote for, that's who you are.
Golfing, Donald Trump likes to handle the recent downturn in the market like every working class American by owning a brand new Tesla. Customized for the 47th president, this Tesla features always cracked windows for efficient odor minimization. And of course, it has your perfectly pre-programmed self-drive to take you directly to and from the clubhouse. Pick yours up today at the White House.
I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's
A
the
trap
bad
house.
news. I'm not allowed to drive because I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars. But I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it.
When not golfing, Donald Trump likes to handle the recent downturn.
The White House is a trap house. It's sad, but it's true. Once upon a time, it was a classy place to go. Before Donald Trump got in there again. They had a nice thing, and they invited all the high-end black people. Kamalaharris was there. She hosted. It was all out on the lawn. Now on the White House lawn, they're selling Teslas. See, there's a difference between class and trash. Trump is trailer park trash. Kamala Harris is class. A lot more education than him.
So there are some Democrats out there who are fighting every single day, and one of the Democrats who has been doing incredible work is New York Attorney General Letitia James. She is leading a coalition of other attorneys generals from across the country to push back on Donald Trump's unconstitutional executive orders. We just had her on the Midas Touch podcast, and this is a conversation you've got to check out. It's on Apple and Spotify right now, but check out this clip.
So the list goes on and on and on. Whenever he issues an executive order, it's the blue wall of defense, the attorneys general all across this country who respond in record time, defending the rights of individuals, defending the rule of law, and standing up for our democracy and for our freedom. And we'll continue to do that, even with their threats, and even with all of their the fact that they throw everything against the wall and see what's going to stick. Attorneys general, we're prepared to respond in record time.
There are some Democrats out there who are fighting every single day, and one of the
And y'all want to know how Donnie Boy got those 34 felonies? Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, waxed that ass, Donnie. That pale ass of yours. And that pissy depends. How you sit around for hours with that shit in your pissy depends. Donnie got all kind of diaper rash. That's why he's so mean. You know how a little baby is aggravated? They don't have that pissy pimp on for quite some time. That's Donnie. Donnie Boy, she molly-walked you all across New York. Letitia James. One moment. Hold on, y'all. Mama got something for you, baby. I got you.
Today we're going to talk about the billionaire that is quietly wrecking our government. No, not this fucker. We talk about him far too much. Today we're going to talk about this fucker. Peter Thiel is the ultimate Bond villain, who is the puppet master pulling all of the strings, who believes that democracy is a failed experiment. He's got a plan, and trust me, you're not in it. You don't hear his name very often, and that we're going to bring it to light. If you're new here, my account has already been banned once and is now being heavily watched by the TikTok gods. So every villain in my stories have a nickname. Peter's is going to be Gastiel because he is the Thiel. Gastiel was one of the main investors of PayPal with Elonia, which is where he made his first billions, and he's been using that money to dismantle democracy ever since. He once wrote, and I quote, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible. Normal people have a midlife crisis and they go out and they buy a motorcycle or get a divorce. Gastiel decided that his midlife crisis would be overthrowing our democracy. His grand vision, something called the Dark Enlightenment. Go ahead and Google it. I'll wait. As many of you just found out, it is a far-right movement that believes that democracy is outdated and that society should be ruled by, you guessed it, a small elite group of tech billionaires. It's a monarchy for the broligarchs. But of course, even a billionaire supervillain needs its minions. Enter Elonia and the Shillbilly. Gastiel and Elonia are old friends from their days of investing in PayPal. And Gastiel became an early investor in many of his companies. And surprise, surprise, once Elonia took over Twitter, he turned it into a fascist playground faster than you can say algorithmic radicalization. And Gastiel didn't just support Shillbilly. He bought and paid for his entire political career. In 2022, Gastiel dumped $15 million into Shillbilly's campaign. Why would he do that, you ask? Shillbilly's origin of a Gastiel puppet began way before his run for Senate. See, after cashing out on Hillbilly Elegy, Vladimir Futon didn't go back to Ohio to help his constituents. Instead, he cozied up to Peavy, who hired him in 2017 to work for his venture capital firm. And if you haven't gathered as much already, Gastiel's been playing the long game. He wasn't just investing in Diet Mountain Douche's career. He was grooming him for political usefulness. With Gastiel as his biggest backer, setting the stage for his pivot into politics, Gastiel didn't just bankroll his campaign, he built him from the ground up, turning Shillbilly into the perfect Trojan horse for his anti-democratic agenda. And just like Alonia bankrolling Dumpy's campaign, Castile's investment in Shillbilly has paid off big time. Not just in policy, but in having a loyal lapdog pushing his oligarchic authoritarian fever dreams from the White House. The only freedom that Castile cares about is his freedom to rule over you. It isn't about innovation. It's about spying on you, selling that information to the government, and making billions while doing it. His company, Palantir, yes, named after the evil seeing stones in Lord of the Rings, because these guys don't even try to hide it, was founded with a grant from the CIA to create surveillance tools. And now Palantir is deeply embedded in law enforcement, ICE deportations, predictive policing, you name it. But PD isn't working alone. Enter Larry Ellison, founder of Oracle, a company that I worked for 8 years. Oracle's databases run everything from corporate finance to government records. And Larry, who's good friends with PD, openly bragged about recording citizens so that they behave. These two aren't just collecting data. They are creating a world where private data doesn't exist, and good citizenship means doing whatever the billionaires want. What could possibly go wrong? So now let's circle back to Castile's endgame. Dark enlightenment. He doesn't just want to watch you. He wants to rule you. As we discussed before, dark enlightenment is bringing back the monarchy for Silicon Valley's biggest nerds. The guy who came up with this theory is Nick Land, a British philosopher who got so deep into the techno-fascist movement, even other conservatives were alarmed. Dark enlightenment has a who's who of authoritarian fanboys. We've got Castile, Curtis Yarvin, who is deeply entrenched with Castile and Alonia, and of course, other useful idiots like Shillbilly and Alonia. Here's the bottom line. If they get what they want, elections become ceremonial. The next leaders of our country will be handpicked by the oligarchs, and society will be run like a corporation with a CEO figurehead in charge. There will be no Congress. There will be no state law. Everything will be consolidated under one dictator, Dumpy, who will have a CEO figurehead, Alonia and or Castile, making all the decisions for everyone in the country. So again, Castile and his billionaire buddies aren't just playing politics. They're waging a full-on war on our democracy while we are distracted by the circus that is Dumpy and Alonia. They are working to create a world where elections don't matter, billionaires rule unchecked, and surveillance keeps you in line. Guess what? They're currently winning. Project 2025 is 34% implemented. The reason why they're winning is because people think that this is some fringe conspiracy theory rather than an actual blueprint that they are executing right now. Here's the thing. They aren't invincible. Their power depends on us being too overwhelmed, too cynical, and too distracted to fight back. So don't give them that luxury. Call them out, expose their agenda, share this video, lock in and make noise, because the only way we lose is if we stay silent.
Stay woke. One moment, please. More on Elon Musk and this fraudulent government that we have.
All right, let's break this down. Project 2025 isn't a policy plan. It is a full-blown blueprint for an authoritarian coup. Nothing in this is about making America great again. This is about installing a billionaire-backed, white, Christian, nationalist dictatorship where dissent is crushed, elections are meaningless, and power is concentrated in the hands of a few corrupt elites. And I'm going to show you exactly who's behind it. First, let's start with Dumpy. Dumpy doesn't care about governing. He doesn't want to do the job. He ran to stay out of prison. And now that he's in the White House, he just wants total power. And Project 2025 hand delivers it to him, gift wrapped with a bow. If this plan succeeds, Dumpy gets full immunity from prosecution, as SCOTUS has already told him he has, unilateral power of a dictator over the government. Because he's so transactional, he has already begun to sell out America. This gives him the green light to continue doing so to whomever is the highest bidder. And if he gets the chance, He's already fantasized about conquering other countries. He wants to conquer countries for his own gain so that he can build his shitty oceanfront properties and make more money. Palestine, Greenland, Canada, you name it. The man wants to be an emperor. Now let's talk about the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation backs all the way to the Reagan years, and just like trickle-down economics, it refuses to die. The white Christian nationalists at the Heritage Foundation are the brains and the brawn of this operation. Dumpy doesn't want to do any work, he just wants the power. Newsflash, he doesn't give a shit about what happens to America. He only cares about himself. I actually think he was honest when he said he hasn't read Project 2025. Because he doesn't care what the details are. He just wanted to get into office. And now that he's there, he owes them. So he's now installing all of those white Christian nationalists into their posts. This is an attack on life as we know it. Total erasure of the LGBTQ+ community, Christian theology mandated in schools, national abortion ban, women not only losing their right to reproductive care, but also to vote. They see a world where the white man rules. Everyone else has zero rights. And that culminates in women, people of color, and any other marginalized community completely eliminated from government and any leadership positions. Now let's talk about Vladdy. Project 2025 is Vladdy's dream scenario. If you've watched my previous videos or any of the documentaries that I've recommended, you'll know that Vladdy set his sights on Dumpy way back in the late 80s. And because he's gotten him in the White House not once, but twice, and by the way, kept his ass out of prison, Dumpy owes him. So now that Dumpy's in office, he's carrying out all of Vladdy's orders. Close the door to Ukraine's NATO membership. Check. Call Zelensky a dictator and blame the war that Putin started in their country on him. Check. Ease all of our sanctions on Russia. Check. Eliminate USAID. Check. And once complete, the US becomes a weak, corrupt, authoritarian state, just like Russia. And newsflash, they're already well on their way. Putin gets the US withdrawing from NATO, a green light to conquer Ukraine and beyond, Dumpy and Elonia handing US secrets over on a silver platter, and gets him closer to global control of energy and military conflicts, because with the US out of the way, who's going to stop him? Now let's talk about Elonia. He's already turned Twitter into a fascist playground. Imagine what he's going to do to the United States. Since Dumpy's inauguration 31 days ago, Elonia's already committed several crimes, put the US at grave risk, exposed US intelligence, and leaked American citizens' private information. It's only been 31 days. Project 2025 has already allowed Elonia to go in and purge lifetime civil servants, removing any oversight of his corruption. This has given him unfiltered access to our data and national security secrets. Not to mention, it's provided great air cover for him to redirect all of our government contracts to his companies. Under Project 2025, Starlink will become the backbone of our U.S. government communication systems, giving him the power to monitor, throttle, or completely cut off access for political control. Think of it this way: Palantir, Tesla AI, and Neuralink, the most advanced surveillance system ever built. And dissenters, journalists, and opposition leaders will be flagged and tracked in real time. Environmental, labor, and antitrust laws? Gone. At least for him. He's already exempting himself from the very same regulations that apply to everyone else. And just think, when he can use his robots for autonomous AI military projects, full-scale defense contracts for Elonia will automatically be greenlit. What could go wrong? The neo-Nazi cesspool that used to be Twitter will now be the government's official communication channel. SpaceX will replace NASA so that Elonia will control everything from satellite security to interplanetary expansion. And Dumpy can now give him defense funding to build the first privatized military-industrial empire in human history. Bottom line, under Project 2025, Elonia becomes untouchable. He's not just building companies and promoting hate speech. He's engineering an evil corporate empire that will control everything from government to communications to surveillance and war. And once he's in power, there's no taking it back. He becomes a direct asset for Vladdy's global strategy. He's already removed thousands of civil servants, while Dumpy replaces them with MAGA loyalists. Elonia has been meeting with Vladdy since 2021. There's also strong evidence to prove that he colluded with Dumpy and Vladdy and leveraged Starlink to ensure Dumpy got into office. Russia doesn't need spies anymore. They have a direct line into Elonia for U.S. technology and infrastructure. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk about Gastille and Dorcas. Yesterday, I made a video on Gastille. Dorcas will also get his own video. Stay tuned. Gastille and Dorcas are co-founders of Palantir. You know, that surveillance company that they created that they want to use to spy on you 24/7 in their techno-fascist wet dream. Gastille and Dorcas are the puppet masters behind the Dark Enlightenment movement. Dark Enlightenment is a Silicon Valley authoritarian cult disguised as innovation, cooked up by basement-dwelling incels like Dorcas and bankrolled by billionaires like Gastille. Now that Gastille has his two puppets, Diet Mountain Douche and Elonia, firmly planted inside the system with zero oversight from Dumpy or the doormat that is Congress, his techno-fascist fever dream is on the fast track. See, these power-hungry sociopaths believe that democracy is a failed experiment and that the world should be ruled by unelected broligarchs like them. In this world, elections are a joke, surveillance crushes dissent, and the elite get to decide who gets rights and who doesn't. Not to mention the fact that they want to completely eliminate our government, aside from Dumpy, of course, and put all of our governmental decisions in the hands of an AI of their creation. It is the ultimate revenge of the nerds. If Project 2025 succeeds, we are no more than pawns in their techno-fascist dystopian empire. Did you know that there's a website that tracks the progress of Project 2025? And we're 35% of the way there. So let's review what happens if they win. Elections, gone. Government, privatized. You'll vote, but it won't matter. Just like in Russia, they'll have their pre-selected puppets. The broligarchs will own all of the agencies that are supposed to be regulating them. Laws, Christian nationalists rule. Gay marriage, gone. Interracial marriage, erase. Abortion, illegal. As for the arts, they will be defunded, censored, and weaponized into soulless white Christian nationalist propaganda. And the FCC is coming after free speech. People like me speaking out will be prosecuted. You monitored 24/7. Because so many companies and the US government are using Starlink, Elon's going to let them view all of our data. Palantir will be the eyes in the sky. And all of the apps that we use for facial recognition will now be submitted to the government. So what do we do now? Number 1, expose Project 2025. Share this video and educate yourself so you can educate others. Follow and share responsible progressive media outlets. And speak out. It blows my mind that 90% of this country is operating like nothing is happening. This is not business as usual. So lock the fuck in. Number 2, destroy their surveillance network. Publicly call out and boycott all of their companies. Here's the thing. They don't just want power. They want to watch, track, and control everything you do. The Techno-fascist syndicate is building an AI-driven surveillance state. And guess what? Most of us are giving them free data every single day. And think twice about giving money to any company that funds this bullshit. Blast them publicly. Change your privacy settings. There are plenty of videos on how to do that. Ditch Google and Facebook. Use privacy-focused browsers like Brave, Firefox, or DuckDuckGo. Turn off ad tracking. Stop handing your location and habits over to the billionaires who want to control you. Get a VPN. Encrypt your data and make it harder for them to profile you. And limit what you share. The less they have, the less they can use it against you. Every bit of data that they collect strengthens their grip. So let's cut them off, expose their plans, and make their surveillance state collapse before it's fully built. Number 3, protest with your wallet to starve Project 2025. Here's the thing. If we are ever able to vote again, it is not enough. We have to hit them where it actually hurts, their wallets. Every dollar you spend is a vote. And right now, you are voting for your own oppression. Boycott every company backing Project 2025 and the GOP. These corporations are bankrolling the rise of fascism, the destruction of our civil rights, and the death of our democracy. Shift your spending to progressive companies. Support Support businesses that keep their DEI programs, support fair wages, protect their workers, and don't donate to politicians hell-bent on turning America into an oligarchy. Cut off the broligarchs that are fueling authoritarianism. They want our labor, our money, and our silence. So let's take the first two away and make a whole lot of noise. These clowns are invested in PayPal, Venmo. If you can't get it at Costco, you don't need it. Number 4, download the 5 Calls app and call your representatives every day. Number 5, register at generalstrikeus.com. If and when they come after social media, this may be the only way that you have to tap into our community. Number 6, sign up at nosmallact.com. This is a nationwide movement where we are creating change at the county level. Go and please register to be your county representative if you can. So if you're cool with living in a corporate-run, white Christian nationalist theocracy where billionaires track your every move, elections are just for show, and speaking out gets you imprisoned, then hey, sit back, relax, and enjoy the fall of our democracy. But if that doesn't quite sound like your vibe, it's time to wake up, raise hell, and make sure Project 2025 crashes and burns before it takes us all down with it. Your move.
She is saying everything I've been sitting in this chair talking about with y'all. And I want to show y'all that because to get another person's point of view. She's saying everything that I have already said to y'all. She just added more facts and more things you could do to make sure that Project 2025 does not go into full effect. I suggest you play this video back and go back to that and listen as much as you can, because this young lady is schooling us. I watched her video several times and I was like, I got to share this with my people. We got to share things with each other to stay ahead of what Donald Trump and jdvance and elonmusk are trying to do to us. Project 2025, we have to knock that out. We cannot live under Project 2025. One moment, please. How y'all doing? I'm going to show y'all one more, and I save the long one for tomorrow because I got to eat.
It is going to be Elonia's little blockchain baby that takes all their asses down. You know that I know that they cheated. I have the receipts. If you haven't seen it, go to my grid and watch the video with the black screen that says must watch. Want to know how you can be sure they cheated? Authoritarian rulers always dispose of their puppets once they are no longer useful. And yesterday on live TV in his very own Oval Office, Dumpy got absolutely neutered by apartheid Clyde and his little possessed NFT baby.
Listen up to baby Elon. The prices from one year to the next are the same. And oh my God, there he is again. No,
Sorry, I'm eating churros. Costco churros, amazing. Alonia is the one talking. Alonia is the one making the moves. Alonia is the one with the kid picking his nose. Meanwhile, Dumpy just sat there like a hired clown at his own dictatorship.
is to restore democracy.
Now, let's compare this to this ragegasm.
Don't talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me that way. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way.
It makes you wonder, is Dumpy only abusive towards women or just the ones
Yeah.
who don't have evidence that he used the backdoor password to victory? Vladdy and Alonia humiliate him for sport. And here's how we know they're all connected. If you watch my previous videos, you would know that I've been tracking Dumpy and Alonia's meetings with Vladdy. Alonia has been meeting with Vladdy since 2021, right when they started collaborating on Dumpy's big comeback. What Alonia and Vladdy are doing to Dumpy, classic authoritarian playbook.
You can't be president of the U.S. last time I checked, right? But assume you are.
Not officially.
Not officially. Okay, so you're the unofficial president.
Step 1, install a puppet. Step 2, use him to get what you want. Publicly humiliate him so he knows he was never in control. This isn't just an ego check. This is how strong men operate. They build a leader, make him feel powerful, and then strip him of that power to remind him and everyone else who's in charge. Alonia is doing it by taking control of that Oval Office. Vladdy's been doing it for years, making him wait undermining him publicly. They decorated the Capital One Arena for the US president's inauguration like the fucking Kremlin prom. That shit was straight off of Putin's Pinterest board. And by the way, not one American flag in the rotunda.
I've not seen any flags here anywhere.
The only thing missing was Vladdy slow dancing with our nuclear codes. And does anyone remember this flex?
Melania Trump.
Nude photos of Melania Trump have been aired on Russia's most watched state TV channel during a program supposedly dedicated to celebrating Trump's election victory. This comes after Trump allegedly urged Putin not to escalate the Ukraine war in a phone call last week. But the Kremlin denies that this phone call ever took place. Despite Trump's repeated claims that he has a good relationship with Putin, things appear to have gotten off to a rocky start between the pair.
This is why history is so important. This is the same game that dictators have played for centuries. They tricked Dumpy into thinking he was their equal. Turns out he was just a seasonal intern of authoritarianism.
They quietly just do whatever we want.
That's a little demon.
What's your assessment? Did this work? Is he going to win?
Yeah, it is. Stop it out.
I think so. You think it's done?
But never know.
I'm looking at the data as it comes in. From
That little boy said, not for long. That's a little demon.
And for international viewing pleasure, here's one last shot of America's most cucked dictator.
Is to restore democracy. The space prices from one year to the next are the same, and I checked previously with the president to make sure that this is.
I have another video, but the next video is much longer. I really enjoy her. Y'all got to get over there to TikTok and look her up. When I tell you she's eating up Elania Musty and Daffy Duck every day on her TikTok channel, I want to show y'all the other channel because she calls him Dumpy. She has nicknames for those fellas. The two Lovers Lane, she got nicknames for them. Do y'all want to see, put in the chat, do y'all want to see the next video? Because I can say that one for tomorrow because I got so many videos saved. I'm going to play this one. This is not her. This is a different person, different content creator.
So my husband used to work for Elon Musk, and when he left, he had to sign an NDA. But I didn't have to sign an NDA. So I just want to let you know that part of the reason why Elon has such a hard-on for going after OSHA is because OSHA has been investigating him for the last several years. Because Elon has racked up a staggering 600 serious workplace injuries between his factories. And do you know how many people have died on campus, on site, in the factory of Elon Musk? 4 deaths. And one of those deaths was a gentleman whose body laid on the floor for several hours while Elon and his optics team had a discussion about the best way to approach it, while the workers worked around the dead body. I'm sure that had absolutely nothing to do with the shit morale that was in the factory. And these are things that you can look up and verify for yourself. Just last week, OSHA had Tesla pay $50,000 for a death that happened at the Gigafactory. You can look that up. There's a reason he's going after all of the companies that are trying to hold him accountable. He's exactly like Donald Trump in every single way. He will not be held accountable, and he will seek revenge on anyone who tries to hold him accountable. Okay? His ketamine-fried brain is out here destroying our entire government. And we're just all helpless to do anything about it because we've got Democrats in office who think that protest is wearing a pink suit.
I always knew Elania Musty was a bad business person. That's why him and Donnie is a match made in hell. They are exactly the same person. When you see Elania Musty, you're looking at Donald Trump. When Donald Trump is being such a horrible person and the things he's doing to the American people, that's who MAGA is. That's exactly who MAGA is. I have so much more I could show y'all, but I'm going to save it. Yeah, I'm going to save it for tomorrow. We will resume tomorrow because I know y'all got to get up out of here. And I got to go eat because I made myself another delicious peach cobbler. And I cooked salmon with rosemary, pepper, and oregano. And I have some long grain wild rice that I'm going to eat and enjoy my meal and drink water so I can stay healthy. I wouldn't dare sit up and eat Burger King and McDonald's like Dunny boy. I care about my health. As y'all know, health insurance is high as a mother. So you got to eat healthy to stay alive. I love y'all. Enjoy your evening. Hit that like button before you leave out. Thank each and every last one of y'all. Thank my moderators. Because I was trying to show y'all as much as I could today, I didn't get to interact with y'all in my chat. And it may be healthy that I didn't, because a lot of times I go and read the chat. It's always MAGA in my chat saying the most craziest things to me. So don't think that you're not appreciated if I do not respond to you in my chat. It's better for them that I don't read the chat sometimes, because I will spoil their whole evening. I will destroy them. But I want to thank each and every last one of you all for coming to my live, supporting me. It means a lot. Hit that like button before you head out. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 5 o'clock. God bless. Bye.